Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
I'm good. Glad that you were able to make some time for me today. So thank you for
Yes,
that.
I'm a busy man, but
Yeah.
for you, are you kidding me? Absolutely.
I appreciate
Absolutely, I'll give you 30 minutes.
I appreciate it.
Not a penny more.
Time is money. So this is just a little overview of our discussion today.
Okay.
I'm going to do a quick review of what we put in place so far. We spent some time, we went completely through your supply chain, and I was able to kind of uncover some stuff that would be important for you to look into.
Okay.
And we'll go over future opportunities, next steps, and an implementation plan.
Okay.
So first, right now you have your technology integration, and that's running smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
You have WorldShip running. Right now you're using Atom, and you're looking at doing sales order.
Okay.
Yes. And with sales order, you've kind of hit a little bit of a snag, but right now you do have integration, so that's good. With Billing Center, I was actually able, this is the reason why Colette likes me so much, she waves at me when I come in.
Yes.
We were able to have all four of your accounts that are linked together on Billing Center to be able to be paid with credit card. Before you had one.
Nice.
Yeah, before you had one, and it was literally just one, so it gave her, she was really annoyed about it, because she was like,
Right.
it works for everything else, why doesn't it work here?
Right.
So I filled out that form, I had it taken care of, and now, if you think about the time that she saves 8 hours a year from not having to fill out a check, track down a check, all of that, and it ends up being $156 that your company saves, so it's pretty good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is that the only advantage that she has with that, or is there anything else that's important from
With
it?
Billing Center, it's also important that, I know you don't deal with the bills too much, so I didn't want to bog you down with this information.
Yeah.
But it makes it easier to reconcile bills, know what you're paying for, it's all in one place, it's all really easy for her.
Oh, you know what? That actually helps me, because she's not going to ask me about all that stuff.
Exactly,
Right?
and
So-
you focus on not only your purchase orders, but also with making sure that the guys in the back are doing what they need to be doing, so.
Right.
You already have a lot on your plate, I know.
That's right. Thank you.
Oh, and also I have calculations in the notes sections of this PowerPoint if you want me to send it to you after this. You want to know
Those
how the
numbers seem reasonable. They
Okay.
don't seem too crazy.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
but they're very beneficial numbers. Also, right now, some of what is making your life easier is the visibility solutions that you have in place. So
Mhm.
between Quantum View Manage and also Quantum View Notify, you're able to see what where your packages are, if there are any exemptions, anything that's happening,
Mhm.
and also with Quantum View Notify, people know exactly where their packages are. They get an email, they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's reduced a lot of the work I have to do, because people aren't even asking. They're
Right.
just kind of checking themselves. But it is nice to know ahead of time
Yeah.
that there's a problem, because at least I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been good.
And I know that kind of is part of the pain that you're experiencing with USPS right now. With those Amazon shipments you're doing, you get a lot of limited visibility.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
and I know right now you're using ground with freight pricing.
Mhm.
What do you like the most about that?
It saves me money.
But other than money, you don't have to put together a pallet.
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's kind of, yeah, the pallet's important. I mean, I still got to label every package now,
Mhm.
so there's a little bit of a trade-off there, but it kind of just flows better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a different thing I have to do, it just kind of goes with everything else I'm doing, so I kind of like that aspect.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
Well, I mean, if I have to palletize something, I have to break away from the normal shipping process. I have to go get the pallet, I have to put it on there, I have to shrink wrap it. So it's just a change. It's, when I'm on the line, it's repetitive behavior and it just kind of moves quickly, and that's always like an exception to what we do. So yeah, I think it's cool the way it works.
Yeah. Are you aware that we also have, you can bring GFP inbound as well? Because I know right now, you're paying for freight to come and bring pallets in, and that's how you get the majority of your order in when we went over your supply chain. Would that be something with the solution, and you already know you like it? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I guess the only challenge is how do I know the person at the other end's gonna know how to process GFP? I mean, as you know, you and I had to get this thing in place, and it's,
But it's three simple steps,
yeah.
and you know how it works. And if you need me to also additionally explain, I actually have a very clean presentation that I had actually sent you. Actually, Frank Winters, your freight representative, had sent it to you, perfectly detailing how the system works.
So you can teach my customer how to ship it? Because he's gonna have to ship it, right? If it's coming into me, he's gonna have to process the shipment, so.
I mean, I think you can also have it where you process the shipment for the inbound GFP.
Okay.
And that way you don't have to worry about training him, and we don't have to waste time or energy tracking him down.
Hey, if that's an option and there's a way to do it, dig into it, see if you can figure it out. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd love to have control over it if I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about it more clearly. I'm fairly certain that that's the way it works, is that you can actually process those inbound shipments yourself, and we wouldn't need to train anybody else.
What I like about you is you never give me a sure answer if you're not sure. So I'm sure you're gonna go back and make sure you know the answer, and then you're gonna give it.
And I can even bring Frank in. He's the expert in the freight systems, so if you want my...
Yeah, but I like you. I don't wanna talk to Frank. He's gonna ask me for bills.
No worries.
Right, or invoices, or he's gonna ask me how my last claim went. I don't like when he does that.
All right, well, I will double check. I will have a clear answer for you, and we'll go from there.
All right, perfect.
So right now, kind of changing gears a little bit from the freight, you have 4 different accounts. None of them are on the same pricing. Actually, I looked into it. One of them is actually not on pricing at all. So what we can do is leverage your current spend to put you on some better pricing overall. Is there?
So when you say I have one that's not on pricing, they're
It's the
paying.
one. It's the one
So
that's.
what do you mean they don't have pricing?
So it's owned by you have a different account manager for that account right now. But what I can do is make sure I get aligned to that account, so you have one representative, except for the one in California, because it wouldn't make sense for me to be the California representative, because I can't go in California and have these conversations like I do with you right now.
Okay.
But what I can do is make sure that that account gets the pricing.
Okay. So a discount is what we're talking about here, right? Okay.
Is there additional volume that I can leverage as well to get you the best pricing possible?
I have to be honest, I'm not completely clear what happens in all the other locations.
Okay.
I know there's, the post office that you mentioned here, but I couldn't really tell you about those other locations.
Okay. For your location, I recently saw a FedEx truck up front. Is there additional FedEx volume between either Dury Sales or AZ Wholesale? Sorry, AZ Supply?
We from time to time have shipments. The truth is they're routed by our customers when FedEx comes and picks up here, so it's not really business that I could commit to you guys.
Okay.
I can tell you shouldn't be very worried about it. It's not enough to matter.
Okay.
I can't speak for the other locations. I have no idea.
Well, I will contact the representative in California and see if he can go in and have a conversation with the Western Link shipping manager and see if there's any additional revenue that we could add on to this agreement, where we make one pricing agreement for all 4 companies.
So I'm just curious, when you have him walk in there, is the only thing he's going to do is ask about whether they have revenue?
Well, I'm sure he'll go in and also make sure the same stuff that we do. I make sure
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
I like that.
And I'll double check with him to make sure that he does that, because everyone has a different way that they go about things. So
Okay.
I know you guys like the way I go in and I check to see what your system is. I take the time to understand your business.
Correct. If we're gonna look at the whole thing,
Yeah. You want to look at the whole thing?
And I trust you. I'd like you to coordinate that.
Yeah. I can definitely have a call with him.
Okay.
So when I was going in and we had our time and I looked through everything in your supply chain, I realized that right now you are switching from Atom, your current warehouse management system, to sales order.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it hit a snag, and I understand this is a little bit of a sensitive subject.
Mm-hmm.
You had spent all this time and all these resources with sales order and getting everything set up, but sales order didn't take the time to understand your business. And now you were supposed to roll out this new warehouse management system a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a good idea for me to get our technology specialist, Bruce, involved and look into seeing if maybe there's another better option for you other than sales order. And we at UPS, we could actually help provide funding, because I know you might have a little bit of a cash flow issue with that money that was tied up.
I mean, I just feel we've gone so far down the path,
Mm-hmm.
the current path, that it's hard to see that turning around or going a different direction is the right move right now.
How frustrated are you?
Oh, I'm extremely frustrated. I mean, it's beyond frustrated.
Yeah.
The only thing that seems more frustrating to me is starting over from scratch and having to go through this all over again.
Yeah, but would you be willing to do it if you knew it would come to the conclusion that you originally wanted?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I was sure, or at least, I mean, I guess you can't be sure anything, but if I was
Yeah.
reasonably sure, I mean, if you guys can convince me that there's a better way to do this, I would just need a lot more assurance than I did this first time, because I made a big mistake
Yeah.
doing what I did.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of, Bruce is really great at what he does. And he and I have gone in the past and looked through another customer supply chain, and we were able to figure out, the best fit for them. And not only did it fix the issue that they were having, and made it so they were able to grow their company further.
Well, I trust you,
Okay.
so if you want to bring him in, I'll be happy to have the conversation.
It's worth a look.
Okay.
The other idea I have for you is with regards to UPS Capital. This is our insurance program,
Okay.
and I know that over a year ago, you had an issue where a package was damaged and you actually never saw your money back.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't send very much of these packages, but it's enough that did it cause some issues for you?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's still an open wound.
Yeah.
I want my money.
Yeah. Well, the thing with it, you didn't put any declared value. So we have no way of proving whether what was in that package was toilet paper or gold.
Yeah. No, I understand. I mean, outside of my word,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I didn't want you
You
to
know.
pack the package.
yeah. No, I understand. I just, I would have rather you guys just paid for it, to be honest with you, versus having put some solution in place. But,
Yeah.
we can't go back.
We can't go back, but we can go forward. And I think going forward, we should bring Dorothy involved. Dorothy's the capital representative. I'm not legally allowed to sell you insurance, but Dorothy is. It'd be a really good idea to bring in Dorothy, check to see what we can offer you, because sometimes depending on what it is, it could be better cost savings than declaring the value. And Dorothy can give you a better picture of all this.
It could be better cost savings than declaring the value.
Yes, because right now you're not.
Tell me that in like people terms versus UPS terms, because I'm sure you guys talk about all that
Yes.
internally, but I have no idea what the hell you're
I
talking
apologize for confusing you with my UPS lingo.
about. No problem.
What UPS Capital can do, not only does it pay out more often than declared value is, and you know what declared value is because that is, you've seen it before, right?
So that's.
Do you need me to read?
So that's when when I pay you guys like the insurance on the
But
screen, right?
Yeah, but that's not insurance. Declared value is, you're saying what the value is, but declared value only covers the raw materials, not the final sale cost.
Okay, so that's not insurance.
It's not insurance, but capital is.
Okay, all right, that makes a little more sense. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And having capital, not only does it pay out at a higher rate, but You can also get your money in your wallet quicker, so you don't have a cash flow issue. And I know
So what rate does it pay out at?
I would rather have Dorothy tell you exactly what that rate is, because I could give you numbers,
Okay.
but I don't know if they'd be right.
Okay.
And this is, I do my best to be a straight shooter and tell you
I
what
got
I
you.
know. So
I got you.
we'll bring Dorothy in, and we'll have her give you the full presentation, the full rundown, and get you what you need.
Okay, fair enough.
So this is the quantification of the numbers that I had put earlier with
Okay.
the solutions that we currently have in place. Now this number, I put an asterisk by it because it could be higher
Mhm.
with the additional savings of inbound GFP.
Okay. Sounds good.
And here's an implementation plan. I'd like to put you on that agreement as soon as possible to make sure that we're leveraging the current spend that you have, and we're getting, making sure that that one account that doesn't currently have incentives gets incentives. So you
Right.
get, the partnership pushed forward.
So can I ask you something? I mean, if you guys put that agreement in place, what I'd like you to do, if you could, is just go back to maybe the last 3 months, take a look at all 3 accounts.
Mhm.
And if I could just get the incentives across all of those, in other words, I'd like to get the discounts going back 3 months.
What you're saying is you want me to go back and fix what had happened in the past?
Well, I mean, I've been shipping all these packages, and what you're
Yeah.
telling me is that when I put them all together, I qualify for a reasonably good discount.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that since I've been shipping them with you this whole time, I understand you're not gonna go back years or anything, but I just like the last quarter. If you could just cut me a check for whatever the incentive difference was between what I got and what your new contract provides.
I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to do that because I'm putting in a solution for the future. And right now, you have additional revenue that you're not using with UPS. And so I am doing you a service by putting these rates in place. And it wouldn't make sense for me to go back in the past and give you that money back.
God, that bothers me. I mean, that's a problem for me.
Why is that a problem?
Well, thank you for asking. It's a problem for me because my boss actually expects me to be looking at this, and I know it's 4 locations,
Mhm.
but because I'm like the shipping guy that he
Mhm.
kind of relies on, he would have expected me to know this. And I'm gonna have to walk this new contract into him, and I'm gonna have to explain to him that I made a mistake and I didn't have all these people on the contract.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how to position that in a way that I'm not gonna look stupid.
Well, what we can do is, we can have a meeting with him, you and I will position this new contract to him, and we can also position not only the solutions that we had put in place before, but the solutions that we're going to put in place in the future. And so we'll save, pennies over dollars. By being able to have a better system, you'll be saving more than you would if you went back and fixed three months of work.
So that's gonna make you guys look good. I'm worried about me. How do I make
You brought
myself
me in.
look good in all this?
You brought me in. You opened the door to me so that I could help. So
All right.
aren't you doing well by bringing UPS in and partnering with us?
I think you got something there.
We've been in business for 112 years. We didn't just do that on our own. We understood that we are better for the people we partner with.
All right, so let's get our story straight here. I brought you in.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about all these challenges, and I asked you to bring me solutions to them, and then I've also asked you for this pricing that you're talking about to be more aggressive, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm liking the way this is playing out. Okay, good. Forget about the 3 months. Thank you.
Okay.
That works.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, you too.
All right, nice job.
Oh, so much